What about you? What's your ethnic? Just black? Or?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So actually, I'm African American, European, and a Mexican into the indigenous.
So you're a nigga.
So yeah, but I'm Mexican, Indian, and European. To be honest with you, my last name is Spate. My last name is German, and they have a whole crest for our last name. So obviously, my slave master was German. Whatever. So,
Do you know Spanish?
I know very little, only because of school.
Do you know German?
Oh my God. Very little because I was stationed over there.
All right, so you're a nigga. Got it.
Yeah.
You're like
But
us.
I mean, but still, if you want to get into the dynamics of who I am, I did go get a blood test and I know who I am, so I answered.
I mean, if
There
Cuz
you go.
pulled you over, you're a nigga, man.
I mean, you can call me a nigga if you want to. I'm African American, European, and indigenous to the Mexicans. So
Okay.
you want to call me a nigga, you can be disrespectful all you want, but I don't care.
No, man.
We're niggas too.
Yeah, we're niggas too, man.
But I don't take nigga as a positive
I know.
demeanor. You know what
Why
I'm saying?
not?
So, because it's not the way y'all say it.
Hey, he's a nigga too.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, why,
He
why,
is not a nigga.
He is.
Well,
He
I'm
is
not, but listen.
The nigga was used in such a derogatory sense. Like,
But I'm
it
a
was
nigga.
to make us feel less than what we are. And
Listen, we are modern times.
You're right.
We're all niggas, man.
yeah, I get that, but
I mean, the ER, for sure.
No, not the ER, but the A.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Like, what's up, my nigga?
To me, there's no difference, but okay.
Come on,
All
man.
right, man. She classy.
So just want to ask, so when you're saying that you don't like him using that term, are you talking about in terms of the manner in which he's using it, or are you talking about just being identifying as black?
So for me, if you say I'm a nigga, that doesn't mean I identify as black. So I feel as when they say that, they're just using it as like, when I say ignorance is the lack of knowledge, so I don't mean it in no disrespectful way. So I feel like they're just using it in an ignorant manner.
So you just to rephrase, so your issue is that it's used in a derogatory sense.
Yes, I feel like they're using it in a derogatory sense than using it into where they trying to.
Now you mentioned
never.
you mentioned you were
I think it was coming
black.
from her, right?
You mentioned you were black, and then you mentioned quite a few different other ethnicities. Explain, like, how are you other ethnicities?
So me and my sister were always curious of who we were because the stories we got from my father and from my mother, because my father looks one way and my mother looks completely the other.
Are they both black?
No,
Okay.
my mother looks non-black. My mother looks like 100% Indian, and I needed to know so I knew if I can make some extra money or not. That was the whole point of me sending my blood in to see if I qualify like
Native
you
American.
to get that Native American check. Because if you look at like a picture of my mother, she looks 100% Native American. So I just wanted to know, and so of course I sent in, my swab and my spit to find out, the breakdown. Because if you ask my mother and you ask my grandma, it's just.
Why did you?
For
just
some
do that?
reason, people don't like to tell the truth in their families because they don't
so
want the
just-
truth to come out for whatever reason.
Just to summarize.
But summarize, I didn't like the way how they put it. It felt like they was trying to.
No, but listen, one second. I said, so you came to that determination based on a DNA test.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So the problem with that is you're basically, and so this is why I have an issue, right? Because you're basically when they asked for like what you are, rather than saying you're black, you went to your like DNA test and you were like, oh, I'm 13% this, like 5% this, 2% this.
Well, because
whatever.
they kept asking all the people prior to me, well, how much percentage, how much of this? So in my mind, I already knew to give them
Right.
that.
Okay. No, but the issue is this: like, you're black, right?
I'm
And-
African American, yes.
Yeah, which is African American, black, whatever. So the point is this: when you
not the same,
basically,
but okay.
the problem is like, look, I'm not bothered about the various races. Like, I don't see any issue or difference between races. The problem I have is when you're doing that, you yourself have an innate problem with being black.
I don't.
No, but I'll explain to you why. Let me explain. Because if someone asked me what am I would say, look, I'm Pakistani origin, right? And when look, my DNA test is like, what, 13% this, 5% this, 12% this. But I won't be like, oh, I'm 13% Celtic, 9%, 5% Central Asian, 2%. It just sounds silly. It sounds like you're basically not confident in who you are because you're basically trying to appease people, or maybe you thought it'll make you seem interesting. I don't know what the reasoning is, but the problem is when you do that, it doesn't come across well.
And what was your name again?
Suliaman.
Suliaman.
Yeah.
Suliaman, you're 100% correct. Because you know what? I've been on this podcast many times before, and I see how they destroy black, African, dark-skinned people. So when I saw how the questions was going... Can I please finish? You
what?
So as I saw the questions going prior before me, I just wanted to prepare myself so I could seem more pleasing to their crowd. And yes, did I belittle myself or make it seem like I'm not proud to be black? I don't know, but that was not my intentions. My intentions was to be more accepting to their audience and to answer the questions the way they were already answering it. So I might have took that wrong, and maybe I overthought it as a Virgo, which I tend to do many times. But I'm proud to be African American. I'm proud to be black.
No, but isn't that a problem that basically based on one experience that you've had in this show?
Wait, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
So isn't that a problem that based on one experience you had on this show?
No, it's been 3 times.
Okay,
so,
whatever, 3 times. Yeah. 3 experiences on this show, right? You then were basically, you wanted to be accepted by their audience, and in your mind, and due to the fact that you wanted to be accepted by their audience, you were like, I'm 5% this, 7% this, 9%. It's just like, it's not right? And what I'm trying to say, do you see the problems with what's going on there?
No, you're right. Yeah. I just thought that the questioning was going to be different since the whole change of the podcast from prior when I came and the whole new setup. I thought things were going to be different. I didn't think things were going to be the same, to be honest with you.
With the same niggas.
So I was expecting something a little bit different, a little bit more lighter. I didn't.
How do we make fun of black
so
people,
I apologize if I made anybody in the African community make it feel like I was not accepting of who I am. So, but I am, and you're completely right. What I responded to
in short,
wasn't probably proper.
We're niggas, right?
No, you're not.
How do we make fun of black people, though? I'm still confused at that.
I wouldn't call y'all niggas like that. Now, if I see you in the street and I seen you doing some stuff that I felt like wasn't respectable as an African American man, then yeah, I'm gonna call you a nigga. Okay, but right now, you haven't gave me no reason to call y'all a nigga, so I don't want to call nobody else a nigga on the platform.
It's just a word, bruh.
Yeah, but that word hurts a lot of people.
Who?
African Americans and everybody else who is associated.
No, but technically, I guess doesn't.
It don't hurt me.
All right.
Does hurt you?
No.
I get offended when people call me nigga.
No, but the problem is what you're basically saying
I'm a real nigga.
What you're
I'm a real nigga.
I get offended.
The problem with what you're saying is probably worse, because what you're saying is you describe someone as a nigger if they have negative black traits, right?
I would never think you said the word.
I didn't say black traits.
No, you did. What you said is,
I said if they wasn't being a respectable African American male, because that's who I'm speaking to right now. Because he wants to.
I know the podcast ain't about the nigga word, dog.
He wants to call himself a nigga. I mean, I wouldn't just, if I didn't know him out of Cane to Paint, I wouldn't be like, hey, what up, nigga? No, because I feel like I'll be offending him.
Right. So
you're not.
So just to rephrase what I'm saying. So according to what you just said now, if someone does not act respectable for you, then it's appropriate and acceptable to call them a nigger, right?
I wouldn't say it's acceptable.
No,
I
but
feel like
you just said
if
that,
I
that's your
use
definition.
it would be me as not demonizing. What's the word to call somebody something below than what they are?
Belittle?
No, I wouldn't say belittle them, but I didn't want to say disrespect. Like, no, I'm gonna use disrespect. Like, if I was to use nigga, I would. If I'm using, I'm gonna use it in a disrespectful manner. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, for you.
Yeah, for me.
But that doesn't make it good though.
Yeah, that's
no,
bad.
that's what I'm saying. That's why
worse.
I wouldn't use. I'm trying not to use that every day. Like, I'm really like on this phase of my life where I want to uplift and not take down people.
Listen, I'm white, but I'm
How
also
are you
black.
white?
But I love the word nigga. You know why I love the word nigga?
Why?
It's just a
Explain
word.
it to me.
It's a meaning thing. Unless you put meaning to it behind call someone nigga when you do like dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a word. So don't take offense to it.
Can I ask you a question? How
No.
do you feel about?
Sorry, go ahead.
How do you feel about somebody getting beat up because they're Spanish around African American people saying the N word?
Exactly.
How do you feel about that?
See,
I just want to bring it up because
here's the issue in Miami. Y'all say the N word because you're Hispanic, and it's not an issue because I really don't care. But people take it as, oh, they're not black, so this is an N word. Beat them up. My thing is like, it's just a word. Who cares?
So let me answer that because I kind of disagree.
Yeah, I
right?
wanna hear
and the
your
reason
side.
and the reason why I asked that question is because I don't agree with your definition, because I feel like, again, your definition of what you said is probably worse than what he did, right? And I'll explain to you why.
Yeah, that's
because
why I would never call him that.
no, but you said you would consider him that if he was acting not respectable, right? Now the issue is this. Look, I don't think it's just a word, and I'll explain to you why. Because I was watching this chat as soon as I came on, and the first comments I read was, "Oh, Suliaman is anti-white," and so what that tells you is it doesn't matter if someone's black, Pakistani, white, whatever it may be. Everyone, and I mean almost everyone, is sensitive to certain terminology and words, and people are very sensitive to their own race being attacked, right? And it was less so with white people when they were the extreme majority. But now you're seeing, for example, in the United States, whites are what, like 58%?
Yeah.
So when they become the minority, you're seeing now almost any comment you make is like anti-white. You're being anti, even though like I'm not anti-white, but you would see them saying it all the time. So in reality, what that has demonstrated to me is that it doesn't matter if you're white, it doesn't matter if you're black or Asian or Arab or wherever it may be. Most people are sensitive to anyone demeaning them. So for example, using the N-word would be an example of when people think they're being demeaned. Or for example, if I say, oh, a white chick, right? White people will be like, oh, Suliaman's anti-white, Suliaman's anti-white. So in reality, what happens is we get used to using certain terminologies being in certain areas, but when we look at it holistically, yeah, I do think that it's not just a word. I think there's a lot more to it. It's just a word, yes, but what happens is it offends people, and the problem is if we're going to say words that offend people, that's fine, and you're being kind of doing it with everyone, that's fine. But the problem, but even then, is that right? Is it okay to offend everyone? Maybe, maybe not. But the issue is the person receiving it. It doesn't matter if it's black, white, Asian. Everyone gets offended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Suliaman, you want to introduce yourself to the people
Yeah,
real
by
quick?
the
We
way,
didn't even
man,
get to
love your intro.
Yeah, we didn't even get to have you introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yeah, okay, thanks for having me on. I'm a journalist. I'm on Twitter. I'm got a decent following on Twitter, and I cover geopolitics. So this is a new situation for me, so do let me off. I know I know a lot of people will get upset that I'm here in this specific situation,
fine.
but I thought I'll try it out and see how it goes.
Thank you for coming, bro.